Hi guys, this week I'm gonna be talking about matrices. Let me share my screen. Mathematics. Share my screen. So we are gonna be talking about matrices today. So I'm gonna be explaining what matrices is all about. I'm gonna be explaining. I'm gonna be explaining what matrix is all about. So, matrix is a rectangular array of numbers. So it's basically you having two sizes, which is represented by M and N. So, for example, M is the number rows that there are in the matrix, and N is the number of columns in the matrix. So, for example, let's take this as an example. Matrix A has a size of 2 by 3 matrix. So, what does that mean? It means that rows, we have one row here. Okay, come in. We have one row here. Okay, cool. This is one row, which is 316. Then you have another row here, 409. And if you are to have the column, you have one column here, two column here, three columns here. Same as matrix B, which has a size of 2 by 2. So you have two rows, one, two, you have two columns, one, two. So a matrix, any matrix with size M and M is known as a square matrix, which is this, right? So let's take a look at this example. So for matrices, we do have addition and subtraction. We have scalar multiplication, matrix multiplication, matrix transposition. So let's take a look at some few examples we have here. So we're doing matrix addition or subtraction. So when adding or subtracting two matrices, their corresponding entries are added or subtracted. For example, given A is equals to 1357 and C is equals to 1608. So if you are to do the addition of A and C, you're basically going to have 1 plus 1 gives you 2, which is what you have here. 3 plus 0 gives you 3. 5 plus 6 gives you 11. 7 plus 8 gives you 15. And if you want to do C minus A, you basically have 1 minus 1 gives you 0. 0 minus 3 gives you minus 3. 6 minus 5, 6 here, minus 5 gives you 1. 8 minus 7 gives you 1. So let's talk about scalar multiplication. A scalar multiplication is a number that it's not in form of a matrix. It's also known as a scalar, right? So let's take a look at this as an example. So given A is equals to 1357, so 2A is going to be what? 2 times 1, you have 2. 2 times 3, you have 6. 2 times 5, you have 10. 2 times 7, you have 14. So let's do matrix multiplication, right? So for example, you have 13571068. So what you're basically gonna do is to make 1 and 3, you make it vertical, right? So you basically have 1 times 1 plus 3 times 6. Because if you make it vertical, right, you are trying to change this horizontal to vertical. So you have 1 multiplies 1, 3 multiplies plus 3 times 6, which is what you have here. So you do the same for this side. So you have 1 times 0 plus 3 times 8. You do 5 times 1 plus 7 times 6. And you also do 5 times 0 plus 7 times 8, which is what you have here. So if you do the addition, you're gonna have 1947 and 2456. So matrix transposition is also called, or the transpose of a matrix is derived by replacing column n by row n in a matrix, right? So it's basically you actually change it. Like for example, now you have given A is equals to 1357 transposition of matrix, which means that it's it remains the same. You basically change this horizontal to vertical, which is why you have 1357. You do the same too if it's a 3 by 3 matrix. You change the horizontal into vertical, which is you have 5, 2, 1, you make it vertical, you make 5, 3, 9 vertical also. So let's look at this following matrices. So you basically have 3, 2, minus 1, 0. You have all these matrices, right? So you are being told to find 2a plus b. So you're going to have 2 open bracket a, which is 3, 2, minus 1, 0 plus b, 4, 9, 1, 4. So 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 2, 4, 2 minus times minus 1, minus 2, 2 times 0, 0, plus 4, 9, 1, 4. So you basically have 6 plus 4, 10. 4 plus 9, 13, minus 2 plus 1, minus 1, 0 plus 4, 4. So that's how it is for addition of matrices. Let's do this. So you basically have 3 times 0 plus 2 times 1, 3 times 7 plus 2 times 4, 3 times 3 plus 2 times 2, which is what you have here. Then you also have minus 1 times 0 plus 0 times plus 0 times 1, minus 1 times 7 plus 0 times 4, minus 1 times 3 plus 0 times 2, which is what you have here. Then you have the addition, which is why you have 2, 29, 13, 0, minus 7, minus 3. So let's talk about some other questions. Let's move on. Let's see what we have. Yeah, so let's move on to inverse of a matrix. So inverse of a matrix is basically represented as a raised to power minus 1. So let's take a look at this as an example. So it says show that the following matrices are inverses of one another, right? So if A is this, B is this, what you basically do is what? You take the determinant first, which is 2 times 3. Oh, okay, sure. Inverses of all. Okay, yeah. So this is what we're basically gonna do. You're gonna do the multiplication of it first, which is what you have here is equals to 1, 0, 0, 1. You do it the other way. So it means that A and B are inverses of one another, right? So now let's move on to um let's see, let's see. Okay, let's do inverse of 2 by 2 matrix. So so it's basically, if you are being told to find inverse, you have to find the determinant first. So we basically find determinant, which is 5 times 3, 15, minus open brackets 4. So 15 minus 4 gives you 11, which is why you have 11 here, right? So you interchange you interchange 5 and 3 and you negate the other side. So if you interchange 5 and 3, you have 3, 5. If you negate minus 4, you have 4. If you negate minus 1, you have 1, which is why you have this here. So that's why I have 1 over 11 open bracket 3, 1, 4, 5. Then you're gonna do what? You bring them together. So you have 3 over 11, 1 over 11, 4 over 11, 5 over 11. So that's basically inverse. Inverse means that you take the determinant first, you interchange the left hand side, or basically I used to say, I do say we should use this anytime you're finding inverse, not to get it confusing, right? I say use your left hand to determine the matrices, right? So it's basically when you use your left hand, it's just like you cutting grass, right? With your left hand. So it's same way you strike a pose at this matrix. So you basically interchange it and negate the other side, which was what happened here. So uh let's take a look at let's see. Yeah, I think that's basically uh what we have for today. So we've talked about multiplication of matrices, addition, subtraction, inverses of matrices. So inverse of matrix is basically finding determinants, interchange the left hand side, cross multiplier of the left hand side and negate the other side. And we talked about transpose also. So this is basically all we have today for matrices. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel.